You train hard, you lift heavy 5 days a week, but you still look soft and pudgy with no muscle definition. You look like a wet bag of socks. You're not alone. This is exactly how I felt and how most of my clients felt when they first came to me. You think it's hormones, genetics, getting older. Wrong. You think you need more workouts, more cardio, more protein. Wrong. There are 3 specific mistakes that you're making, and I'm gonna break them down right now. No BS, no filler. My name is Jeff. I've helped over 350 people go from feeling soft and pudgy to feeling confident taking their shirt off at the pool. If you want me to take all of the guesswork out of your nutrition and your training, I'll leave a link down below that you can apply for coaching. Mistake number 1. You actually have more muscle than you think you do. It's just covered under a layer of body fat. And even though you may be eating healthy or eating clean right now, it's actually not helping your goals as much as you think. 9 times out of 10, you're going to look way better once you drop some body fat and reveal the muscle that you actually do have underneath all those layers of fat. This is why I always recommend tracking calories. I know it's a pretty old school way of tracking your nutrition, but it works time and time again. And as long as you hit your calories and you hit your protein and you are in a calorie deficit, you're eating less calories than your body burns, you're going to lose fat. You're going to reveal the muscle that you built. And a lot of times you need to go a little bit more aggressively in the beginning. This is because in the beginning of your calorie deficit, your motivation is going to be its highest. So you can actually go a lot more aggressively and be more consistent. This means that you could drop 20 pounds in 6 to 8 weeks if you just do it the right way. So track your calories and track your protein. And if you need help figuring out those numbers, here's a simple guideline. Take your goal body weight, the weight that you'd be at your absolute leanest, and multiply it by 12. For me, that'd be about 160 pounds. Multiply that by 12. That would give me about 1,920 calories. Then take that same goal body weight and multiply it by 11. Again, for me at 160, that would be 1,760 calories. So that would be your calorie range. Mine would be 1,760 to 1,920. I like using a calorie range with myself and with my clients. It just allows for a little bit more flexibility. Then take that same goal body weight and multiply it by 0.8. This is going to give you a rough estimate of how many grams of protein you should eat at a bare minimum. For me, this would be 128 grams of protein. I usually get around 160 to 180 grams of protein, and that's just because I tend to be more full and satiated eating more protein. Again, my bare minimum is about 130 grams. As long as you are consistent with your calories and your protein, you're going to drop body fat. You're going to see that scale moving consistently, and you're going to be pretty damn happy with your results. Mistake number 2, you're not training anywhere near hard enough. Being in the gym 5 days a week means nothing if you're leaving a bunch of reps left in the tank. I like to use a model called reps in reserve, or RIR. This is a way of gauging your intensity or how close to failure you are training throughout a given set. Let's say you're doing a dumbbell bench press and your program says do anywhere from 6 to 8 reps, and you're doing 30-pound dumbbell bench press and you get 8 reps. The weight should be challenging and slowing down considerably towards the end of that set. If those last 1 to 2 reps are not very grindy, you're pushing those last reps and you feel all of your muscles tensing and contracting and it's extremely difficult, then that means your intensity is not close enough to failure. For certain movements, I actually like taking them to failure. Smaller movements like bicep curls, lateral raises, any sort of smaller muscle groups, you can take them actually to failure just to see what it would feel like. However, I like to leave 1 to 2 reps left in the tank for me and my clients. That just assures us that we're getting the most out of those strength training sessions. If you're leaving 5, 10, 15 reps left in the tank, you're not actually getting the muscle building benefits. Most people would actually benefit from spending less days in the gym and bringing more intensity, working closer to failure on those days that they actually are in the gym. You can get a way better physique training 3 days a week with high intensity than you can training 5 days a week with low intensity. It's not about how many days you spend in the gym, it's about the effort that you put in when you show up to the gym. And if you guys have any specific questions about workouts or fat loss, or just have any questions in general, you can always send me a DM at Jeff Packman Fitness on Instagram. And make sure to follow me over there as I post every single day. And again, if you guys want to check out my coaching and you feel like it would be beneficial to have some accountability on your journey, I'll leave the link down below in the description. The third mistake you're making is you think you're burning a lot more calories than you really are. If you're doing high intensity interval training or tons of cardio throughout the week, you may not actually be burning as many calories as you think. I like to use something called maxing. Walking burns fat, preserves muscle, lets you eat more food, and there is zero recovery needed. Cardio, especially running and using a bike, it's going to use a lot of those lower body muscles that you will have to recover from. And it's also going to bring your hunger levels up. You may find it actually harder to stick to your calorie deficit the more cardio that you do. Now, I'm not saying that you should never do cardio. I'm just saying that you should actually prioritize getting a lot more steps in. I always find my calorie deficit so much easier when I'm getting about 15,000 to 20,000 steps per day. Now, I know that sounds like a lot of steps to some of you, and it is, but I would way rather bring my steps up than bring my food down. There's something magical that happens when you get that many steps in per day. I can't really explain it, but the fat just seems to melt off. The scale keeps moving, even if you're not 100% consistent with your nutrition. This is why I'm a huge fan of step maxing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and got something out of it. Make sure to pop a like on the video and subscribe for more weekly content just like this.